Hello everyone and welcome. This is my guide to how the guild I am in defeats Duke Letarius. This is the first boss in Greenscale's Blight. It is a combination of getting the execution correct along with a slight DPS check. For this boss we use two tanks, one for the Duke and the other one to pick up the adds that spawn, along with a dedicated healer for each. There should be little raid damage, so we just use a couple of raid healers to keep everyone topped off. We also assign two melee DPS to control the shamblers that are in the four corners of the Duke's room. Their health is looked after by the raid healers and also the healer assigned to the adds tank, as the adds tank shouldn't take too much damage during this fight. We tank the Duke about where he's standing at the beginning, with melee behind him and the rest of the raid in the middle, making sure to leave the left hand side of his room empty. This is where the DPS assigned to the shamblers will take them. Two of them are kept about a third of the way down his room and the other two about 2/3 of the way down. Duke Letarius has one main ability that you have to worry about. At 86% of his health he will begin casting Duke's Wrath, and you'll get a screen message saying Duke Letarius unleashes his wrath. He will do a point blank AoE, which fortunately only has a small range, and will then enter his enraged phase. During this time he will run after the tank, continuously cleaving anyone in front of him. Everyone must move out of his way, as this will one-shot most people and will kill tanks in pretty short order. This is where the shamblers become important. We mark them 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just as the Duke finishes casting his wrath, the first one needs to die. When they die, they leave a purple pool on the ground, which will slow the Duke down as he runs through it. If this doesn't happen, he will be able to catch the main tank, and then bad things will happen. The second one is then killed a little further down the room, and then the third one and the fourth one. The Duke's tank needs to make sure that they are moving to the other side of the pools as the Duke is casting wrath. The Duke will cleave anyone who is in his way even when slowed, so make sure the path he will take is kept clear. The DPS controlling the shamblers especially need to make sure they move out of the way when their shamblers have been killed. This phase is also the DPS check. The Duke will stay enraged for 10% of his health, so DPS need to save cooldowns, potions and the like for these phases to get him out of enrage as quickly as possible. If he's not killed fast enough, the pools on the ground will despawn, and the Duke will then be able to catch the main tank. Once the Duke is out of enrage, the shamblers should respawn in their corners, and DPS assigned to them can pick them up again. The main tank should also then try and bring him back to his original position, DPS needing to make sure that they stay out of his way for this, as the Duke does still have a cleave. To complicate matters further, the Duke has also brought friends. He has three types of adds he can summon: brownies, flying fairies and ground fairies. In the first phase, up to his first enrage, he will just summon packs of brownies. These do very little damage, but should be picked up by the off tank, as they do a stacking debuff. These can be AoE'd down by the DPS when necessary. From the second phase onwards, he will also summon flying fairies. A couple of ranged DPS should be assigned to killing these when they spawn, as they can cause problems if too many of them are up at once. If it does begin to become a problem and too many of them are alive at a time, the other ranged DPS can switch to killing them until their number is under control. It's a good idea to make sure you do not have the Duke go into one of his enrage phases while the DPS is busy doing this. From the third phase onwards, he will also summon ground fairies. These are somewhat nasty, and we assign a couple of DPS warriors or melee rogues to kill these. They have two abilities: Fey Blast, which can be ignored as it only does a small amount of damage to one person, and Fey Barrage. Fey Barrage should be interrupted at all times, as this does a fair amount of damage to everyone in the raid if allowed to be cast. We tend to have someone call out when the Duke is about 5% away from one of his enrage phases. This will allow the first shambler to be killed in time and the pool ready for when the Duke is in his enrage phase. DPS can also at this point switch to any of the adds that are up and kill them off before the enrage phase, allowing all DPS to focus purely on the Duke at this time. As long as everyone makes sure that they manage their role correctly, then the Duke should be defeated. Thank you for watching. I've been Zero Override, and I wish you luck in defeating this boss.